Without energy efficiencies, any business, any household, any organization, institution, or the government itself are going to be gone. That with the prices of food and fuel rising inevitably far greater than what can be afforded, we will need to rebuild our civilization. To me, this is an exciting necessity. Our cities are gray and dull, dangerous and fragile, and trillions of dollars need to be invested, and trillions of dollars need to be made by those who insist on making money to do something in order to rebuild cities so that they are not only energy efficient, but that they become easy to live in and beautiful. My measure of success for an economy and for civilization is that cities particularly become as beautiful as the children within them. That to me is the singular standard of success. And it's exciting, as I say, that now, since our standard economy, our gray economy, our extractive economy, has collided with the limits of the earth, and that this has become obvious to most people by now, that the necessity of a new path is clear. And I and many other people have been working for several decades to develop paths toward cities and civilizations, the agriculture surrounding cities, that will enable us to sustain and thrive for indefinite future generations. We have been on a joyride in this country, particularly for the last 50 years. We've become fabulous at pouring cement, going fast, throwing things away. This is the American way, or has been, and can't continue in that direction. So we need a new dynamic, and I'm very happy to be involved in and having been articulating for a long time, since before it had become popular, this process, scenarios by which cities are rebuilt. So here in Philadelphia, I started the Philly Orchard Project to fill 40,000 vacant lots here with fruit trees, nut trees, and berry bushes. This is a city with 50 to 60,000 chronically hungry children, with a 45% high school dropout rate, 22% illiteracy rate, 160,000 uninsured. All these and other problems can be brought together, solved, and resolved by ecological principles, by the principles of engaging people, employing people in rebuilding our cities, the housing, the food, the fuel, the water, the health care, the mobility, the education system, finance, and the culture, all of it, to serve and reinforce this process of rebuilding civilization. In Philadelphia, I've gotten a grant to publish Green Jobs Philly news, making it easy for people to offer and request green jobs, green services, green grants, and green loans here in Philadelphia. And the news is all about the good things that are happening to green Philadelphia's economy. Standard media I call blood, sweat, and tears. Blood is the crime, sweat is the eagles, and tears are the disasters that are constantly broadcast. The worst and dumbest things that human beings do are out there in big headlines. But my newsletter, once or twice a month, Green Jobs Philly News, greenjobsphilly.org, is all about the terrific things that individuals and small groups and organizations, and occasionally, yes, even the government, are doing to make this city, to put this city on the road, on the path to becoming a genuinely and profoundly green city where the costs of living are lower and the enjoyment of living is greater. I've written a small book, Green Jobs Philly. And Green Jobs Philly lays out programs and processes by which we accelerate the greening of the Philadelphia economy, because a lot of current institutions are deeply embedded in the way things are, that there are within all current institutions many people dedicated to making this city, this region, far better, and to preparing it to be sustainable, to be habitable, to be enjoyable for indefinite future generations. But the momentum, the inertia rather, is in the direction of things staying the same. There's a resistance to change, and this little book introduces how we can make the transitions in an orderly and an enjoyable way toward this future, which becomes immensely better, immensely quicker. Within my book, Green Jobs Philly, I propose quite a number of new and novel programs. There's POP, the Philly Orchard Project. There's PIF, the Philadelphia Insulation Factory. There's Falafel, the Philadelphia Fund for Ecological Living. There's POOP, that's the Proud of Organic Philadelphia. There's the Extreme Philly Block Makeover. You've heard of Extreme Makeover, and that usually the program takes one down-and-out family and makes them astonishingly too rich very quickly. The Extreme Philly Block Makeover says, well, let's take the money that is ordinarily used to manage, monitor, evaluate, control, police, and imprison the poor. Take that amount of money on that block in a low-income neighborhood in Philadelphia, put that into making that same block productive and powerful and employed, generating, creating things which reflect the genius and the beauty of average people from everyday life. Have plenty of notions in there. Lay out, for example, the neighborhood enterprise school teachers, the acronym for which is NESTS. And this brings together the people of the neighborhood who have no official teaching credentials to teach whatever they know, which is considerable. They are survivors, to the kids of the neighborhood, and credential both the adults, the elders, and the children for the teaching and the learning. I highly commend my own book, Green Jobs Philly. Well, a green world is far more desirable, more fun, more economical, more sustainable, more safe. A gray world is obviously increasingly dangerous, dull, and insecure. So the question is, how will we live in a green world? How will we make a swift transition from the gray world that we have built, that we have surrounded ourselves with, and indulged ourselves in? How and how swiftly can and will we make this transition? And we have always explored, as Americans, as humans. And this is a challenge, and one that I particularly find thrilling as well as essential.